What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. I'm gonna put my other headphone in here. Okay, now we're good. Uh, we got another contender deck for you guys today. But as you've probably noticed, this video is pretty long. Did not have a super long game. This is actually, well, we did have one pretty long game, which is going to cover most of the video, but we also had have another game for you. This is going to be a double header showing off this deck in a matchup against the Ruth Moabite Contender Deck. This one is a Brigade deck. It's red and black, and I really like this deck. I think it's pretty good. It turned out well as far as the contender decks that I've built so far. I guess. But I'm going to be taking it out against John Hendrix. He's been pretty involved on Discord, and he's starting to help out on Land of Redemption, get that up and going. He's from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and it's kind of fun to say, Tuscaloosa. It's nice. And he's been playing since 2019, but definitely a good player, and yeah, it was great to be able to get him on the channel. I'm sure he'll be on here more often. You know, we'll definitely do some or feature some of the decks that he's built, not just the contenders that he was using for this video. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the deck. I'm going to do a little breakdown for you before we get into the games. There will be a link to the start of the second game in the video, so definitely don't have to watch the whole video at one time. You can watch the first game and watch the second one after that just by clicking to the timestamp. I guess I should talk about the reason why we played two games. So the first game, I'm just gonna kind of spoil it for you because you'll probably figure it out relatively early on. This deck, I did not do very well. The deck did okay, but it wasn't a great draw, and I made a few misplays, and John just kind of got up to a great start. It was kind of a long game, so I held on for a while, but I feel like I didn't really showcase this deck very well, and since this is the new one that's just coming out, I want to make sure that I really kind of show the potential of the deck rather than just kind of that wasn't very impressive. I don't want to buy that deck. Gotta show you that it actually can do what it was built to do, and that it is a solid deck. So I was like, okay, can we I want to keep that game. Well, I was maybe thinking of posting it later on when I didn't have much time to get another deck or video together. But after we played the second game, it was kind of the other way around, where this deck, my draw was fantastic, and I was able to get through with my offense, and my defense was showing up, and John's stuff just wasn't coming out as much, so it was kind of the opposite. And so since I didn't really get a great game that featured both of the decks kind of doing what they're meant to do, then I definitely want to show both of them so you can kind of see both sides. So I think you can kind of picture John's deck in the first game against my deck in the second game, and think about how that game would have gone, I guess. But just based on the timing, I mean, I wanted to get this video out for you guys. It's even a day late already, but these are the games we were able to get in. So I figured with both games you get some good content for each deck. And speaking of the decks, as usual, they are both available in the description below if you want to head over to your turn games and purchase one of these decks. So, anyways, enough about that. Let's get into this red-black contender deck. So, kind of pretty standard Lost Soul package here for a contender, at least. Like the Protect Lost Souls are all pretty good. They're not, super good and or not used very often in like super competitive decks, just because Lost Souls are mostly like focused on value right now. But the when you kind of have a limited price range, the Protect Lost Souls actually work really well. So this one is only a New Testament hero. This one has to be rescued by a hero strength 6 or less, rescued by a female, rescued by a meek hero. And so we've got those 4 in there for protection, and then these other 3 kind of for kind of their lasting effects, I guess. They are all none of these Lost Souls are like when drawn do this, which are usually the ones that are most valued or valuable, I guess, and used in competitive play. But some of them, like this one, Punisher, is actually very good competitive Lost Soul. It's used in a lot of decks, and it's relatively inexpensive. This is the Legacy Rare version that I'm showing here, but that's just because it looks cool in the deck. Or that if you buy it, you would get the version from Rock of Ages. But that's the same for kind of a few cards in here. Like you wouldn't get the Son of God National Tournament promo, just kind of a disclaimer, I guess. But all of the cards that you see here, or that you receive, will be doing the same thing as the cards you see here. They just, these ones look a little cooler because Lackey has them available, so might as well use them. Retribution is also kind of an underrated Lost Soul, because I feel like a lot of people like hand looking, or there are some, or like a lot of evil characters that can try to mess with your hand or something, and so kind of getting a little bit of not really protection, but just something to make them think like, oh, is it really worth looking at their hand if I have to sacrifice something in territory. So I think that's I like where the Lost Souls are at in this deck. I think that it fits well with the defense and everything there. So moving on to the dominance, we've got the kind of the main 4 that you would have in pretty much like a starter deck plus New Jerusalem kind of setup, and then Vain Philosophy and Strife are both in here as kind of cheaper, stronger dominance. Strife I haven't really found a whole lot of use for in the games that I've played with this deck, so maybe you could be the first one to like substitute if you have one of the more expensive dominance or stronger ones. But it does help for if you've got like your big number evil characters or something like King of Tyrus and High Priest Ananias, you can play Foolish Advice or something to make the battle fight by the numbers, and then if you're you kick out some of the heroes, then that works pretty well. And especially with High Priest Ananias, if they have multiple brigades and they're banding in a few heroes, you can just block with him, play Strife, and withdraw the hero that they don't have any single brigade enhancements for, or brigades that match the heroes. So he's definitely a strong evil character, one of multiple rares in this deck that are actually fairly valuable, that I was able to squeeze into the price range of the deck, which is one thing that I think makes it pretty strong and something it's worth buying, I think. And then I also have Guardian in here just because Falling Away is relatively common. I mean, if you have a women's Falling Away, that'd definitely be a good replacement for Strife. But Guardian is a good dominant to have, just kind of as a safety net. Make sure your Lost Souls stay rescued. Kind of the neutral, and I guess, the covenants and curses are both good, or treated as good and evil, but artifacts and that kind of stuff, utility, whatnot, is Fordrac McCoy is the only only artifact, and it's in here really just for speed with Peter. The protection isn't bad necessarily, so I mean if you have it you might as well activate it, but I really like the amount of speed in this deck, and that's one of the problems that I had in the first game, is it not coming up quite as easily, but we've got speed on the defense with Outsiders and Philistine Chariot and Horses in reserve, and Betrayal, and speed on the offense with Jordan Interrupted, Ishmaya, David, Kenby, and then Fordrac McCoy. So definitely lots of drawing in here, not as much searching, so it might lean a little too heavily on drawing. I mean, searching I guess comes in reserve, and there's a Soldier's Prayer to go to your deck, but other than that it relies mostly on drawing. So if you have if you want to add to the deck and maybe swap out some of the drawing for some searching to kind of get a variety of speed, then that's one thing to consider. But I think where the deck is at right now is pretty good speed wise, especially for a contender deck. Covenant with Adam is kind of there is a newer version of it, but it's not red, but this one fits in the deck pretty well, I think, because the defense is sort of built around it, to pretty much have all big evil characters, and then if you have Covenant with Adam active, you can kind of snipe off your opponent's little guys with someone like Azahel to choose them to block, or just kind of if they don't have other options, then Covenant with Adam can be kind of nice there. Carcasses is this is the priest version, probably a little undervalued, I think. I actually used it in a Philistine defense that I built for an actual fully fleshed out competitive deck, and I thought it was actually kind of nice because with Commander Fly Call, being able to equip Philistine Chariot and Horses and then play first with something like Overrun by Philistines, making that discard cannot be negated is very strong. And same thing with like Lamai Spear and Plot to Kill. Those all work pretty well, and about half the defense roughly is warrior class, so you're probably going to be able to get some value from it there, if not just from scaring your opponent, basically like, oh, what do they have, like I can't risk that. Maybe it'd be kind of cool to put a Wrath of Satan in the deck, and the problem with that, I guess, is that I'm not like only red warriors or something, so it's something like Judean Garrison, I think, protects red warriors, or Hebron would protect them from Wrath of Satan. Actually, it might only protect from our opponents now that I think about it, so you need something that protects from harm. Anyways, Wrath of Satan is kind of a fun card with Carcasses if you get play first and then just wipe the board, cannot be negated. Prisoner at Gaza, one of the soul gen cards, can be used on offense to grab one of these two dudes in the reserve, which is why I have the post-exilic warrior ones, so that they can be gold and red. I have these in reserve for Mary, so they can be played as Meek, or you can use their abilities. Like I found that their abilities are both pretty useful in the deck as well, and I also have Captured Kinsman in here for soul generation as well. I guess just one thing to note with him is that you have to be careful with your good enhancements, because as you can see, we've got a lot of multicolored good enhancements here, and he negates multi-brigade cards, so you just gotta be mindful of that. Make sure you're going out with Uriah to make your enhancements cannot be negated, or you've got bravery or something like that. You've got a band and don't have to worry about it. And then Give Me Night Treaty is one of those like iffy cards. just because it's not very versatile. Like the Lord Delivers / Am I a Dog would probably be a better include here if you happen to have one. It's just a little bit pricier for the deck, so it was one of the things that I had to swap out. But definitely a good card to have and to use. It's kind of like the Gamaliel's Speech type card, where you place it in territory and can discard it to negate an enhancement on either good or evil, depending on how you play it. But it fits well in this deck because it's red and black, kind of like Giving Night Treaty. So moving on to the heroes, as you can see, like there's kind of a variety in where the heroes come in. I mean, like throughout all of Redemption, red is kind of special as a brigade because it doesn't really have like a like separate themes. They're all sort of intertwined in kind of like the warrior, soldiers and centurions and David's mighty men, that kind of stuff. They're all fighters, and that's how Red Brigade is kind of characterized. But Lineage of Christ kind of changed that a little bit by adding red as kind of the brigade for meek heroes, and I thought that was kind of that was kind of cool. I had to incorporate that with Mary and Joseph in here because they're both red and really give a lot of firepower to kind of that meek strategy. So Mary protecting them from harm, and then Joseph making them super beefy is pretty neat combo. But yeah, to kind of keep going with some New Testament stuff, we also have Centurion and Calvary and Peter for Jack McCoy. This is the old school Peter. I really wish he was meek. His ability kind of sucks, but it would be better without it at this point. But he's in there just for the draw and just kind of a body to have a hero to rescue with on turn one if you don't have any other options, I guess. But then other than that, we're pretty much like David's mighty men, a couple other warrior dudes, Uriah, Ishmael, both Canaanites, and then David himself. And this is the new LOC David, or one of them, I guess, the rare, not the ultra rare, but he fits really well in this deck. He can ban to either of these guys in reserve or some of the guys in the deck, or if you have the guys in reserve out and they're meek, you can get some drawing off of him. I think I have yet to use David's draw ability, but it's there. And then Ahamaz for the hand information, and also for Trumpet and Sword. If there's a single color site or evil fortress in play that you want to take out, then yeah, definitely do that. That's one of the things that actually did not end up in the final version of this deck, any sites or fortresses. So that's kind of something that maybe works well, or like is okay for this deck, because like Trumpet and Sword, it's not optional. So if Ahamaz is in play, you would have to take out your own if your opponent doesn't have one. So but a good fortress would probably be good to add, or like a multi-brigade site. Like if you have like Storehouse or something like that, it'd be great for taking all these enhancements from reserve. But yeah, enhancements, I mean, just some good battle winners. Faith of Barak and Hailstones and Trumpet and Sword are all awesome on Uriah because they can wipe the whole the battlefield, and then Trumpet and Sword has potential to wipe entire territories, which is pretty sweet. Going on to the defense, we kind of did the same thing where I wanted to like take parts of different themes and kind of the best aspects, I guess. So Canaanites, we got obviously the best evil character here, King of Terrorists, and he's just super strong in the meta right now because of all the OT stuff. We'll see how that goes continuing into the new set with being more of an NT theme, Gospels of Christ. But then we also have some Philistines here with Commander Fikal, Invaders, Armor Bearer, and then Saf. And I guess the one other thing to mention with King of Tyrus is that I did have Doomed Canaanites in the reserve here for King of Tyrus's give ability. So if you give them the Fool, then it goes to their territory, and you make them discard their cards in territory, which is kind of nice. Outsiders is kind of just like one of the best Black Evil characters out there. Doesn't really belong to any theme, but I think he goes in pretty much every black deck regardless of themes, so definitely good against splash decks, and which a lot of competitive decks will have multiple brigades out. Demetrius, I think, is the best Greek evil character. Maybe Alexander the Great, but we can't do him because he has Unity. So he works really well with Seized by Riders, and he with Covenant with Abraham, taking him down 0-3, or Covenant with Adam, sorry, taking him down 0-3, becomes a 1-1, and super great initiative there to get that CBN Seized by Riders. And then High Priest Ananias, I kind of talked about him before, but he's the best guy in the Sadducees defense, and he can really mess up a lot of people, or mess up a lot of offensive strategies, like when they like plagues, and let's see, I mean Throne kind of has some stuff like that too, where they're trying to play like well, maybe Throne's kind of a bad example. I was just thinking of like Root of Jesse play first off of and like recurring it with Isaiah in battle, so the new like Isaiah Throne maybe. But yeah, for the most part, like High Priest Ananias is pretty strong because of all like the splash stuff that people put in, like Overcome in a clay white, or in a white deck, I guess. If they're just going in with their white hero, then not being able to play Overcome, if they don't have clay in battle, then that's going to be pretty strong to stop a lot of their options. Scattered Sheep in there for kind of that scattered effect, because black does not have scattered itself. It does have Abandonment, which kind of has a similar ability, but this one's actually better than Abandonment, I think, because it shuffles the heroes instead of just withdrawing them. And then also has that star ability. Betrayal I really like. I think it's like one of the best evil enhancements right now, especially if you can get it like early game, and like playing it before, or like playing it off of Commander Call and Philistine Chariot and Horses or something. Then you can get like a draw 5 and take out their battle winner, and they probably don't have as many other options at that point. So yeah, and Foolish Advice, classic old one, but good. Fight by the numbers stuff, and kind of talked about these ones already. So yeah, in the reserve we got just some evil weapons to go with Commander Call and Philistine Armor Bearer, get some use out of those, and then some dual weapons to kind of that the evil guys can take and then the good guys can use. So that kind of has some synergy there. And then this is, I think, one of the best enhancements in red that's not used very much, just because like a lot of times defenses will, I mean, you'll be able to know or like kind of predict like what brigades they'll have available on defense, and there are a lot of like kind of splashed in cards that have multiple brigades on them, like Lurking or something like that, where it's got every brigade on it, so it doesn't matter which one you select, Lurking would be prevented, or negated if you played after. So yeah, that's the deck here. We're gonna go ahead and get into these games. I hope you guys enjoy both of them, even though they're mostly one-sided for each game, but at least we get to see both sides. And apologies for the first video, or the first game, my camera was kind of acting up, and so there are a couple points where my face cuts out, but my face isn't really the important part. The important part are the cards and what's happening on the wacky table here. So thanks again to John for working with me to schedule a couple games and get these in, and hope you guys enjoy. Alright, let's get into this. That's nice to see. I like seeing David right away. Ooh, and Mary too. It's tempting to kind of just to display David as meek. I also don't want to top deck a red card from reserve. I could top deck one of my meek heroes and have them instead of David. Well, actually, David can just ban to one of them. So, yeah, I don't think I want to top deck anything. So he drew a star 6 Lost Soul, so protect this Lost Soul from rescue, except by heroes start with 6 or less. And I got an Unfaithful Lost Soul, which it's protected from rescue except by meek heroes. So it's pretty good, except against his contender deck, might have a few meek heroes in there. Well, I guess probably not, because he doesn't. Since it's a contender deck, and I know he's playing the Ruth deck, then doesn't have David. So, alright, so I won the die roll after a quick tie. Do I want to go first? I guess might be good, because I can go first, and if I rescue the Lost Soul, then he'll have a chance to draw one. We do have decent blocks here. We've got Evil Character and a couple negates. So let's go ahead and go first. And oh wow, I didn't even notice until now we did draw both Son of God and New Jerusalem off the bat here, so that's fortunate. So go ahead and put down Mary. And then yeah, I guess we should probably put Helmet on David before going in. And we'll go to attack. Let's see. We need a hero with strength 6 or less. And we've got Matan. He's got strength 6, so that'll work. Do I want to look at his hand or take an OT enhancement? I think I want to look at his hand. So, because the ability on David is adding a hero or another character to battle, the weapon activates first. So I'm gonna go take a peek at what he's got, and then I suppose I can choose whether or not I want to ban from there. But so he's got Orpa, which he can use as a block. Ooh. Unrepentant Moabites is pretty good too. If more than one hero is in battle, you may draw one and bounce a hero. Otherwise, one of us underdeck 2 cards from hand. And he's got Strife, which means I'm not going to get the Lost Soul this turn. Well, actually, no, because... Oh, no. I put Helmet on David, so now I control a good enhancement in battle. Well, that was dumb. Alright, well, definitely should have let him go first, because he doesn't have any heroes, but... Hindsight is 2020. If you control another Moabite, you may underdeck an OT Lost Soul. Put on a reserve or random card from hand instead. That's a little scary. I mean, especially with Son of God and Second Coming in my hand already. So, my dudes, my Matan is not going to be protected, so that makes things a little unfortunate. That was dumb. Well, maybe I can just bluff and I'll see what he does. We'll see if he realizes that my Matan is not protected. Unfortunately, Give Me Night Treaty only redirects enhancements, or interrupts and redirects enhancements, so I don't won't be able to use it in Special Initiative against like his Unrepentant Moabites or Orpa, but he's got options here. We'll see what he does. Yeah, the main problem is that Matan is not protected, and David does not have access to this Lost Soul. So he can just play Strife and withdraw Matan, and that works because I control an enhancement. So yeah, Mary's not protecting Matan, but sometimes you just gotta hope that your opponent doesn't realize it. You can just bluff. I mean, obviously, if he plays it, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's protected, and see if he catches it. That's called cheating. Darn. So we did notice. So yeah, definitely shouldn't have used Helmet. I mean, looking at his hand isn't too bad. And we do know like what his offensive options are now too, or at least like, what he has so far. And one of them, or Marriage Covenant, your god will be my god, and I think it was one of the other red-white ones. But no heroes, so if he doesn't draw any heroes in his draw 3, that would be kind of nice. Looks like he's just going to be using Strife, and yeah, withdrawing my guy with access there. Yeah, so if you were sure you didn't want to withdraw David with Helmet on him, but yeah, guess he didn't want to. So we'll just go ahead and pass and learn from our mistakes. Next time, well, I mean, it would be nice if we could go with David and Matan, but he's got options here, or with his characters to block, but he didn't have any enhancements, so next turn, solo Matan might be able to get the job done. Since the character stuff wasn't regardless of protection. And the Moabite characters that he had, I believe, were pretty small. The bad part would just be the one that underdecks the Lost Soul. But now he's got 2, so we don't have to worry about that. He drew the Angel, what's it called? The Anti-Angel Lost Soul, I think. Basically, an Angel rescues it from your territory, can underdeck another Lost Soul. It was actually kind of decent when the card came out, as far as like the Lost Souls that were available. I think I remember using it in a couple decks early on, just because, it was an option, but not really great now, so that might be one to look to replace if you do want to buy and use the Ruth deck. But classic Ruth deck move right here. he's going in with Elimelech, which can draw X, which is the number of your Ruth heroes, so that tells me, I guess, that Elimelech was the only hero he drew. He can banish Elimelech to take a Ruth hero from deck or reserve, and or add a Ruth hero to battle. So he's going to his deck. And he did get to draw another card, so he's got 3 cards in hand that we don't know about. So he might have drawn an evil enhancement, or some other bigger character that gets around my 6/5 with a 1/3. Seems likely, but let's see. So usually the first move in a Ruth deck is to get out David and kind of start using him to get the key cards out of your deck and getting value there. I haven't looked at the Ruth Contender at all. I just know that that's the one that he was using. So I'm not sure what his play here is. Maybe just get out Ruth because she's a super heavy hitter with her protect and cannot be negated stuff. But he is going with Aminadab. Interesting. So if Meek heroes in play, you can bounce, or you can play Lost Soul from a deck or bounce an evil card. I guess he did need a Meek hero. Okay. So I guess, yeah, he's using Aminadab as non-Meek to play Lost Soul for my deck, because it's just if a Meek hero is in play, it's not if you have a Meek hero in play. So my Matan is triggering his Aminadab so he can play a Lost Soul from my deck, which works out well because this one is protected. So it does mean that I can use Philistine Invaders to negate Aminadab and maybe get the block that way. Your god will be my god will allow him to negate Philistine Invaders, so then probably have to plot to kill that or Aminadab. It's not likely he has anyone to ban to with Marriage Covenant, because unless he drew someone off of Elimelech, because he probably would have put them down before attacking so that he could have drawn more. So yeah, we'll see. Ooh, maybe he'll grab the Thorns Lost Soul. I'm pretty sure I put that one in here, right? That one stick around? Yeah, Thorns. Yeah, not too many great options. Thorns and Retribution would both be pretty decent for me, for considering the blockers he has. That reserve a random card from my hand or underdeck 2 cards from hand. So maybe he's just getting it out, hoping that I'll be able to rescue it. Let's see. He's just cannot be prevented, so he can be negated. How do you spell this guy? Aminadab. There we go. So negating him, I'll put the Lost Soul back, and then it's actually just my initiative. Could just die here then. And then it still captures Aminadab. That's actually not too bad. So I don't even give him initiative to negate because he's so big. But I do lose my 1 evil character. I don't really have many drawing options at the moment. So we'll just shuffle that back in. And of course it does give me another Lost Soul, so that's a little unfortunate, but he has to draw another hero at least, so alright, So yeah, he knows what's going on here. So Minadab is captured. Alright, here comes Moab. If you put a Moabite in play, you may play a Moabite from deck, limit once per turn. For Moabite blocks, you may exchange a card from hand with an evil OT enhancement from reserve. So this guy, he's pretty sweet for Moabite defense. He's kind of, I mean, obviously Moab kind of brings that brings the Moabite defense together, as he is kind of the namesake, I guess. So yeah, the one thing to note about Moab is that he does actually trigger off of himself. So you can search when you play Moab, because for the same reason that like Lost Souls that are like if put in territory, you can like exiles if put in territory, you can draw or search your reserve for an OT artifact and whatnot. So because of cards like that, it makes sense that the ability triggers on itself. Basically, like it's anything that says if this card is put in play. So he takes King Balak from deck, or he plays it, and since it's a territory class, he can take Balaam from his reserve because another Moabite is in play, and Balaam blocks protect OT Lost Souls from rescue. So that's nice. That's a block against Matan. So especially because Balaam has bigger numbers than the other Moabites that he has. These are all relatively small guys. So, only way to get rid of Helmet to make it so that David could ban to one of these guys and then protect them, because David plus them would beat Balaam because he probably doesn't have anything to play. So that Balaam is at least discarded if he's going to protect Lost Souls or whatever. But Matan, I would have to play Give Me Night Treaty to get me to 7-8, and that's just not ideal. Especially if he just has any gray enhancement with numbers, because Balaam can play gray enhancements. So let's see what we draw here. We got the Star 6 Lost Soul, our own. Got a Guardian that will probably not be very useful at all in this game, I guess. Can't really think of any use for playing it, aside from, if it were to get shuffled back into my deck, I guess that would be unfortunate, but... okay, so... Centurion Cavalry is actually pretty decent here, because he negates special abilities and evil characters, and all of his, or like none of his dudes are, cannot be prevented, or cannot be negated, and if he doesn't have any enhancements, then that'd be good, because Centurion Cavalry would beat Balaam by the numbers. Orpas cannot be prevented by an OT hero, but we got a New Testament hero, so maybe that's the way to go. Yeah, let's just go ahead and put it down. And let's see. David has to ban to an OT Red Warrior. He also allows me to draw X, which is the number of my meek heroes. There's only one. So yeah, we're probably not going to do that. So yeah, he said he didn't like him, which is understandable. I think I'm just going to go out with him and see what happens here. We've got lots of strength here with a 5-2 Trumpet and Sword, so Balaam shouldn't be a problem. I mean, obviously we want to save Trumpet and Sword because he's got all these fun little targets right here that we can ping off with a well-timed Trumpet and Sword, but you know, if we need to, we're going to play it for one lost soul. That's how it works. So yeah, Guardian, no use in playing it, so I'm going to keep it in my hand because there's bound to be something that's like, you know, opponent can discard a card from hand instead or something like that, and then Guardian can go there. And I guess to clarify, I know that he's playing a contender deck, so Guardian is, or he's not going to have the women's falling away, or probably any falling away. So yeah, not very useful there. I do have to make sure, like, if he, I don't think there's anything in like Ruth or Moabites that would do this, but something like her or a New Beginning or something that shuffles my hand and allows me to draw more cards. I want to play Guardian if that comes up, because I don't want Guardian to be going back into my deck because it's just a, you know, another, or it's a kind of a useless card. Want to get to my other stuff, so what would be nice if I had kept my helmet and put it on the Centurion. That would have been smart, but no, we're not that smart. Could have taken the Battles of the Lords. That's a super good and underrated card, and is good against, well, I mean, like most decks will at least, or kind of have like one central brigade, and once you're already in battle, like you should know which brigade to use, but sometimes, like, people that use like Babylonians with some magicians and stuff, they'll have like Death of Unrighteous kind of splashed in there, so kind of gotta look out for some of the splash defenses. But against a contender with, or like one of the non-splash contenders, where it's either theme or brigade especially, like there's probably only going to be one brigade, and this is going to be a super useful card, especially because it's not like others where you're you know, good enhancements are negated as well. So he blocked with Orpa, which is prevented by a Centurion, so we'll see what he does here. Plays Death of Family to discard all male heroes in battle and withdraw all female heroes. So, problem with Gibeonite Treaty is something like that does not redirect well, because it still discards all male heroes in battle and withdraws all female heroes. Well, that's very unfortunate, actually. Man. That was like maybe one of the like few enhancements that like definitely would work there that, you know, couldn't be redirected. So that was pretty unfortunate. And that's if I had the Battles of the Lords, if I had played a helmet on, man. All right. Enough of that. We made that mistake. Let's move past it. We're going to pass the turn and hope he doesn't draw a hero, because we have no blockers. Not looking great. This is, like, on the outset, it kind of seems nice drawing your Son of God, New Jerusalem early. Like, you know, you get to them, and you got that secured, basically. But they also, like, I would rather one of these be an evil character right now and then just draw into one of them later. So, like, opening hands on a God New Jerusalem is not great. You know, one of them, sure, that's nice because you're kind of ready, but the other one you don't really want to draw until like middle of the game because, you know, it was a fourth of the cards in my opening hand, so it kind of limits my resources. And of course he drew a hero, so yep. He rescues his Aminadab. So yeah, I think this turn might be forced just to go out with David and use the draw, and then grab one of the negates from reserve. Trying to decide if it would have been worth it to use plot to kill on Aminadab. I mean, no, because then he would have had initiative to negate, and of course then there were two things negating him, so he would have had to negate my evil character and plot to kill. Would have made him use something. I don't know. Alright, that's an evil character, and he grabs Saf, which is pretty sweet. Don't want to grab Doomed Canaanites with him, most likely, if we can avoid it. And there's the bravery. Wow. Okay. Well, here's the question. Do we think that he has a negate? So Asahel is probably one of the best heroes in the deck, honestly. We can... Man. So he drew... He's basically drawn 6 cards that we didn't see in the opening hand. Well, 7, I guess, and then one of them was Elimelech. So Boaz's Foreman and Death of Family were 2 of them. So in those 4 cards left, does he have another evil enhancement, do we think? Should I just choose King Balak to block and hope he doesn't have something? I think that's the way to go. Do I just go solo Asahel though? I kind of want an enhancement with Helmet. So I'm going to be kind of greedy. Oh, should I look at his hand? Maybe I value information too much. Maybe I just, you know, rely on the fact that my cards are gonna get the job done, hopefully. I think we take the Battle as the Lords, and then we have that. Then we can ban to, well, I don't think we really want to ban to Eliezer. I think we want to keep him in here so we can use him as Meek later on if we get like Joseph or something. Yeah, let's just hope it didn't draw anything in those 4. And then we can ban to Asahel. He does say hand, right? Hand, yes. Okay, it's the first one. Oh, I guess he does get the Moab trigger if his Moabite blocks. So he could exchange a card in hand with an evil and OT enhancement from reserve. So maybe it would have been better just to do Asahel. We'll see what he can get though. If he's got like a scattered or a scattered sheep in there, that would be unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So yeah, I think he's, yep. Please, nothing that can be negated. I mean, he knows that I have the Battle as the Lord, so it's probably gonna try to find something that is, you know, cannot be interrupted or cannot be negated, but scattered cheap and scattered might be more than a contender deck can afford. Maybe, hopefully. I don't think scattered cheap made it into this list. It was in here at one point. Oh no, it isn't here. Doesn't look very good for me. Hopefully he's got it main decked. And then I just didn't draw it. And yes, I realize I could just look up the deck, but there's no fun in that. And in an actual tournament game, obviously you know wouldn't know what to expect from your opponent. So it is just a card. Oh gosh. So here's the thing. I need to get better. Alright. Well, maybe we can still come back. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, well now I guess I can just play Guardian. Because I don't want to have to put down any characters, I don't want to play Son of God in New Jerusalem yet, and I don't want to discard anything, so... Oh, gosh. Oh, why am I so bad? Alright, well, maybe Saf can handle Boaz's Foreman with a couple of negates. So I think Marriage Covenant cannot be interrupted. He would just be banning to, that'd be kind of annoying if he banned it to my heroes. Well, you can't ban to Mary. I think it's only OT heroes. And yes, Matan is Matthew, but he is OT in their identifier here. Just because he was actually an Old Testament living dude. Nice thing about Prisoner is it does make another lost soul, so there is the possibility of being able to play Son of God New Jerusalem and still have a lost soul to rescue. Uh-oh. Said he's got a good one for me. Bounce a human not in battle if your meek hero attacks. Top deck a good card from reserve. If your meek hero is blocked from hand, you may take a good card from deck. Well, I guess I should have put my Prisoner at Gaza down. Man. This game is not going well, guys. I guess I could just play it, and he's probably just going to search for Angel, but... yeah, I guess we just gotta make him use it. So, I guess we'll capture the prisoner, and we'll grab the Saf. At least here, he's probably just gonna grab Angel, and Like, I don't know if there are too many CBP Ruth enhancements. Could be wrong. But, I mean, if you did want to win with enhancements, then you'd have to use 2, whereas, you know, you could just use Book of the Law to grab Angel. Nice thing is, if I had still had Philistine Invaders, I could have negated Book of the Law. So maybe I should use Plot to Kill after all. I don't know. I think Philistine Invaders still probably would have not won that battle, at least, you know, not survived by the numbers. Unless I played Gimme Night Treaty, but... Alright, so we searched for Son of God. Which means that he would have to win with enhancements. Which who knows? Maybe he can't. With my negates and stuff. Or maybe he already has Angel of the Lord, he drew it or something, I don't know. But having Son of God isn't great for me. Or him having Son of God isn't great for me. Because I know he's at least halfway, and if he does rescue this one, then I'll only need 1 more and to draw New Jerusalem. So yeah, we'll see. Trying to figure out how to get around Saf's Prevent here. And honestly, I think he probably would have been better off going for Angel, because he was able to walk in with Boaz's Foreman last turn, which means that I probably didn't have an evil character. And so, you know, Prisoner at Gaza would have been my only one. And okay, he did have Angel of the Lord. He was just trying to figure out if there was a way he could not use it. Yeah, I guess I just give him that. Okay. Oh, that's a nice Lost Soul to draw. How do we not mess it up this time? Crusher Martyr, that's nice. Okay, so Captured Kinsman, I guess in case you may not know, since Prisoner at Gaza, I mean, it doesn't reset when it goes to Land of Bondage, so it is still an evil captured character, or captured evil character. It's not a captured hero, so I can't release it with Captured Kinsman. That'd be kind of cool, but no. So I guess the play is just to go in with Matan. Can't be withdrawn by Orpa. Can't be bounced. I would have to underdeck 2 cards from hand. Guess that's not the worst. Let's see, you could still block with Balaam and prevent enhancements and protect lost souls. We wouldn't be able to do anything about that because David is no longer in play, so Bravery can't negate King Balak. Otherwise, I could just negate King Balak and discard Balaam, and that would be awesome. Why did I bring David into the last battle? Who knows? Underdecking a Lost Soul, who cares? Alright, we just gotta go for it. I'll save Captured Kinsman for another time, I guess. Negating multi-brigade cards might have been decent in this case. Since, you know, he's, or my guy's meek, so negating him doesn't do much, and probably won't play Trump and Sword because X is only 1 right now, so that would not be great. we'll just blame it on the fact that I forgot the Moab trigger, and I was just hoping he didn't draw into scattered or something. Right, we can do that. Alright, so he is preventing enhancements. I'm a 6-5. And he's a 6-7. So I could display Giving a Treaty and use those numbers. I really want to hang on to Trumpet and Sword. Problem is I don't really need the numbers on, or the, I don't really need the enhancement on the good side because I have these negates here, but I might need it on the blocking side. So I might just have to bite the bullet and go Trumpet and Sword here. I think I still have Hailstones in the deck, right? Did I include it in here? Or did I keep it? Yeah, I did. So we still got potential for the board wipe. Alright, so I am protected from harm right now, but alright, I guess I can just ask for initiative. Oh man. Yeah, I need to save the Gibeonite Treaty. I need to save it. Ugh, feels bad. I don't know, Hailstones can't wipe his board, because yeah, it wasn't even worth saving him. I don't know. Well, it's worth killing Balaam, I guess. So now I'm an 11-7, so he's got to play something if he wants to keep Balaam alive. Maybe he's got Balaam's teaching. Maybe he's just gonna play Christian Martyr. I mean, it's not the worst thing. We can maybe deal with Balaam later. And if he's taking out my Baton, then, or when he's already got the block, then it's not too bad. I can live with that. Come on, play it, do it. Darn, he's gonna play an enhancement. Basically just wants to keep Balaam alive. And I guess I'm okay if he takes out Matan. Opponent must underdeck a good card from hand. You might underdeck a good card in battle. Cannot be prevented. It's decent. Peter seems like kind of the obvious choice because he doesn't really do much, but if I do draw a 4-drachma coin, then that'll be good. I don't really mind if Matan gets underdecked. We do need to shuffle so that David can get back on top. So yeah, I think we just do capture. Oh, he's good for initiative. Well, yeah. Man. At least we've got the Martyr. That was a fortuitous draw. It'd be awesome if Peter was meek. If you do buy the deck, then maybe Peter's worth replacing and 4-drachma coin, but I mean, I really like it. It kind of depends on what you want to do with the deck. I mean, if you want to go like more Old Testament focus with the Red Warriors and stuff, you can do that. But I think having kind of the Mary and Joseph combo in there, I mean, they're two of the more expensive cards in the deck, so I think they're definitely worth keeping. They're expensive and powerful. So yeah, he played Land of Moab, so he increases his hand size by 1 and can take a Ruth hero or evil Moabite from deck or reserve. So it sounds like he's going to be taking from his reserve. He took Jesse the Ephrathite. It's one of those awesome negate. Oh, I guess he just negates characters in opponent's territories. So that's a little unfortunate, negating my Mary. So maybe we'll just have to go into battle with Mary. Right? Right? Yeah, no, we're not doing that. So he does have access to the Unfaithful Lost Soul because he's meek. Does not have access to the NT only. So we're just going to play Christian Martyr to discard Boaz. Yeah, nothing's protecting him, so. He's protected from the first evil enhancement. Nice part about this is that Jesse, it's only active if he controls a meek hero, which he now does not. So if he doesn't have another hero, then Mary is active. Not that I have a meek hero in my hand, but, you know, might be able to get there somehow. To meet, ooh, he's nice to see. Hey buddy, how's it going? Alright. We're still hanging on, guys. Hanging on by a thread. He's asking for Dominish. I'm not going to... I'm not going to let him underdeck my Son of God or New Jerusalem with Vain Philosophy, which is what I'm assuming he's planning to do. Well, he might have just been... Actually, yeah, no, he's probably just going to play Son of God, New Jerusalem. So we'll negate that one with Son of God, and we'll rescue this one. Alright, so yeah, he did just have a Son of God in New Jerusalem. This is the old promo New Jerusalem, not... is the old promo New Jerusalem, not the new promo, which is what Lackey has on there. But the old promo, it allows you to rescue an additional lost soul instead of copying Son of God, so you actually can't rescue Unfaithful with New Jerusalem because it doesn't negate the lost soul. So yeah, he's gotta just take this lost soul instead of the other ones, because yeah, NT only and Unfaithful are both protected from rescue except by a meek hero or New Testament hero. So that definitely is nice, because it means that if he doesn't have a meek hero, then it's going to be harder for him to rescue. He does have Book of the Law to bounce his Jesse, though, so he does have that option. But we got King of Tyrus. You're saying there's a chance. KOT can do some monster work against an OT offense that's unsuspecting. So, and because the meta is very OT right now, he is a very good card. So yeah, we'll see which one he decides to keep. I mean, he should definitely keep Unfaithful on the table. He should keep the NT only as rescued, because the Ruth deck is not going to have any options for rescuing the NT only. Because you guessed it, Ruth is Ruth is Old Testament, so oh, okay. So I guess he's thinking that since he can't rescue either of these with New Jerusalem, then he's just going to hold on to Son of God, Second Coming. Or Son of God, New Jerusalem, sorry. So, if he's holding on to them, then that means we're tied right now. It's 2-2, right? Oh. Unfortunate part is that I don't think we're going to get a Lost Soul this turn either, because we lost all of our warrior class heroes. Oh. Yeah, maybe we should have held on to Captured Kinsman. Maybe. Do we just throw Peter out there and let him do something? Huh. What's the worst he can do against Peter? They can make me underdeck 2 cards from hand, but then he would have to discard a card in territory, so probably wouldn't do that. He could just underdeck my Prisoner at Gaza and make me... I could live with that, honestly. Let's just try it. Let's throw Peter out there. You know, sometimes you just gotta cast the fishing hook out there or whatever, or cast the line, other fishing terminology, and just hope for the best. Sure. You want to play dominant? He's just gonna discard Peter. You know what? That's fine. Now I just hope we don't draw 4 Drachma Coin, because that's pretty much useless at this point. Do we put down Demetrius to kind of scare him with Book of the Law? I guess so. I don't really want to put down King of Tyrus, because then he'll know what's coming. He can search for something, but ooh, is there anything he can search for that would help him? Oh, my lord and my god cannot be negated if used by a meek Ruth hero, but he already has that in his hand. He's probably not going to attack with a meek hero, so yeah, right. We'll see. I think we're gonna get at least 1 block out of King of Tyrus. I sincerely hope so. I don't know. I've been without video. Gosh, my camera keeps I mean, I use my phone as my camera, so sometimes it just derps out on me, and because it's this dumb app. I know, I need to get a webcam, and it's not like a, you know, I'm just lazy. I haven't gotten it, because, you know, this has been working, and back when I started the channel, webcams were a lot more, like, a lot harder to get, more expensive, and everything, because everyone was switching to working from home and everything, and I was like, I don't want to deal with all that. I want something now, and I was like, oh, there's this cool app. I can use my phone as my camera, and yeah, just need to invest in something better. But it's working. My phone camera is kind of nice, so. Alright, he played King Eglon, which, if you haven't read the story about Ehud and King Eglon, it's kind of sweet. This guy right here is presumably Ehud, And King Eglon is probably like, this is kind of a generous depiction, I think, of his figure based on the biblical account. He's probably a little, quite a bit bigger than that, maybe. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Supposedly, well, I don't know if it's supposed. What I've heard from someone who knows the Bible pretty well is that Ehud actually, I think he like went through the, or like because when he stabbed Eglon, his like, when he died, his bowels released, and so he got, it was a bit stinky there, but he had actually escaped through his toilet, because toilets were not like our little fleshy toilets like we got today, but he was actually able to get out that way. And then his servants, Eglon's servants, they came and knocked on the door and smelled like, oh gosh, that's terrible. They figured he was just doing some business on the toilet there, and they came back later. But when they finally did find that he was dead, Ehud was long gone. Kind of a cool story, a little gruesome, maybe not as kid friendly, but anyways, let's get back to the game here. So Moab played David's Servants from deck. It's probably a good one for him to have here, because he can generate a lost soul. And I don't have my David anymore, and that's, well, I guess I will have King of Tyrus down, so if he does block, I will get to draw 2. Unless King of Tyrus dies somehow. See, he put down Boaz's Reapers. He activated Marriage Covenant as an artifact to resurrect Boaz. Okay, so my Lord and my God. That takes out King of Tyrus, because it negates an evil card, and then it can discard it if it's not human. Cannot be negated if used by a meek hero, I believe. It's the way that those are worded, which is not great. I don't know if there's a way that we can get around this. So the other option here is Demetrius, and let's play Plot to Kill. Got Gibeonite Treaty for big numbers, and Foolish Advice for negating all the stuffs. So it doesn't have Marriage Covenant anymore, which is good. Of course, Boaz's Foreman is protecting Boaz from the first heal enhancement. Played each battle, so he's a 6/5, so I would have initiative on Demetrius, and Plot to Kill would not be able to discard him right away. Oh boy. This is not looking good. And I really wish he wasn't able to get a meek hero back. I mean, he would have been able to get one. He would have been able to bounce Jesse and play him as meek, which also I guess he probably would have done, but it would not have been as ideal. So what is block with Demetrius? There aren't any idols in the deck, so not gonna. Well, actually. I do want to shuffle my deck to get David off of the bottom and Asahel. So we'll just fail to search there and shuffle. I guess we'll just discard Jesse. We'll tempt him to negate it with something. Because, yeah, 4-mana only protects Ruth heroes in battle, so his Ruth heroes in territory are not protected. So we'll see what he's got here. Hopefully something I can redirect and do some damage. Discard all opponent's evil characters, and I'll redirect it, and boom. Then you won't have anything else to play, and then we'll just walk in for 3 freebies with Mary. It's gonna be great. You guys just wait. You get an evil or neutral card if used by a Ruth hero. Discard that card unless it is human. Cannot be negated if used by a Meek hero. Haha. We did not lose King of Towers. We chose the right block with not doing King of Towers. So, Plot to Kill gets discarded. The only problem is that this has 6 strength, and he's a 6/5. We've got 5, 4, and 4, which together makes 13. Which means he only needs one more strength. And yeah, he's got it. So oh, actually no. So I'll your god will be my god. YGWBMG. So, pretty sure the way it works is that since you can't interrupt it, then might need to double check that actually. I'm not really sure. Like, you should, I think, be able to redirect the numbers. Okay, so I was originally thinking that no, wouldn't be able to because you can't redirect the ability unless it's interrupted, but the redirect targets the ability on the card and the strength and toughness of the card separately, I guess, and you kind of just do as much as you can. Since you can't interrupt and redirect the ability, you can still redirect the strength and toughness. The RRG has a little part in the redirect entry that says the strength and or toughness of a card can be redirected without interrupting the ability on the card. So that means that I am at 6, 7, 8, 8, 10. So he has initiative on his 6/5. The unfortunate part is that Foolish Advice is going to negate that redirect anyways, which means he's going to get the numbers back. So if he plays an enhancement with at least 1 strength, then we're done. Oh, maybe we're not entirely done. If I lose, oh, if I had just died by the numbers, then he wouldn't have the opportunity to play a dominant before I give him the Lost Soul, so when I had initiative, I could have just died. And then I could just give him the Retribution before he could play something like New Jerusalem. Alright, so you play Boaz, resolve, and withdraw an evil character, or take a hero or a good enhancement from opponent's hand. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna ever need to block again, so we'll just play Foolish Advice, I guess, and alright, guys. So yeah, if he did play Son of God, New Jerusalem before I gave him the Lost Soul, then he would have won. But he didn't, so I just gave him that one. And maybe he'll get another shot. Maybe. Alrighty, let's do this. Alright, not a terrible opening draw. And here we got Commander Fycall and King of Towers, which are like best two evil characters. We've got the female only Lost Soul, which probably doesn't have too many. I don't think he has too many female heroes, except for Ruth, obviously, because he's. But I guess Naomi, maybe? I don't know. No stars. Well, actually, yeah, no, I don't want to do that because I want to keep my hero. Especially if he's not necessarily going to have access to this one, but I will definitely have access to his anti-angel Lost Soul, I guess is the name for it. So, both through one Lost Soul, so we'll roll. See who goes first. So I'm gonna let him go first. My thinking is that he might not have access to my Lost Soul, so he might not be able to do much on the first or on the opening turn, and then I'll be able to draw and hopefully draw a hero that's a little better than Captured Kinsman. So let's see what we got here. Got some drawing, got Guardian, which, I mean, since I know I'm playing against a contender deck that's not going to have Falling Away, I'm just going to keep it in my hand until either I don't have room for it, or, you know, it would be, like, shuffled back into my deck or something. Yeah, I guess otherwise the reason to keep it is really... So he did have this like one female hero. So she's gonna be protected from banish, discard, and withdraw. Ruth enhancements cannot be negated. So does he have Your God will be my God? Is the question. I also don't know if I want to do King of Towers right away, because then if I give him Doomed Canaanites, then he's not going to have much to discard early on. So banish, discard, and withdraw. So I could just try shuffling her with Scattered Sheep. Yeah. And then I've got the redirect. I'll try it. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess I could have done King of Tyrus and just not captured or not given him the Canaanite or searched for it. But yeah. Oh, look, we had the Christian Martyr. It's not going to really help against Ruth, but it's nice. So we'll see what he's got for Scattered Sheep. We'll just try to shuffle her. Maybe he doesn't have a negate. That would be ideal. And she gets shuffled. Sweet. Commander Phi Call doing work. So yeah, he didn't have any negates or anything for Ruth. He was just kind of hoping I didn't draw an evil character, which is definitely something you should do. Like, even if I just drew Christian Martyr, Ruth is a good option because she's protected from discard. So, but since he didn't have anything, that probably means that he's got defense, which, as we can see, he's got Men of Moab. Not sure why I put Men of Moab down. It's kind of probably a better one to surprise with, I guess, but also King Balak. His territory class, so he can take Balaam from his reserve. Oh, okay, that's why I put Men of Moab down, because you need another Moabite in play in order to take Balaam from reserve. Okay, makes sense. Alright, so he's passing the turn. Wow, alright. We got to draw 5 cards. Well, 6 if you include the Lost Soul, and no other heroes. So, So Men of Moab would be able to underdeck his Lost Soul, unless I reserve a random card from my hand. I don't really have a way to negate that. Am I okay with reserving a random card, though? That I don't know. I guess we could just hope that he blocks with Balaam. Or I could just take, let's see, Helmet's 2/5, so if I go in with Captured Kinsman with Helmet on him, he would be bigger than Men of Moab, so he could just die. Might as well turn that over, protect my hand and deck from discard. And we'll move it over here so it's kind of out of the way. See, I don't really want to put Helmet on Captured Kinsman, because he's probably going to capture himself anyway. Yeah, let's just let's do this, and then if he blocks with Men of Moab, it would be the last card played, so I can play Jordan Interrupted to interrupt it, draw 3, and then play Hailstones. And then his ability would not be able to reactivate. If he blocks with Balaam, I guess I could just play Angel, but the Lost Soul is going to be protected, which is unfortunate. I could just play Hailstones for the numbers, I guess, and it'd be mutual. I don't know, that's not great. Would have been nice if we had drawn another hero, so we could just captured Kinsman, and then Men of Moab would be no longer. So, I think King Balak, since he... It's interesting. So I know that territory class characters, their abilities like fizzle once they're removed, like they're no longer active. But I wonder if King Balak, like if he's removed like during the battle after Balaam blocks, if he would still protect Lost Souls. I'm not sure. You can top deck an OT Grey card from reserve or take it if you control another Moabite. A ban to a generic Moabite cannot be interrupted. Okay. So he is taking from his reserve. So if he doesn't take a negate, so he can also ban to a generic Moabite, which is going to be Men of Moab, I assume. So if he... Okay, Moabite Messenger, bounce into 2 OT heroes, you can top deck an equal number of cards from hand instead. Okay. So he didn't take a negate. He might still have one. But if I do Jordan Interrupted and Hailstones, that would get rid of both of his evil characters. That would be pretty nice. Well, I guess the upside of not capturing Kinsman and having another hero is that he doesn't negate all of my good enhancements here, except for giving Night Treaty. So I guess, yeah, he could have banded to Moabite Messenger as well. But I haven't used the search ability this turn, so... Alright, so he is underdecking the Lost Soul. I'm not going to reserve instead. So, the question is, I mean, so I could play it super safe, play Helmet, and grab the Battles of the Lords from reserve to prevent his enhancements. But that's so many cards, like Helmet, Jordan Interrupted, Hailstones. Let's just try it this way. If nothing else, we'll at least get 3 cards of it. Yeah, Men of Moab. Draw 3, and then... Ooh, that was a solid draw. Alright, so yeah, he just drew the Lost Soul from the bottom of his deck, and then we're going to play Hailstones to discard them both. That is a beautiful draw. Asahel and Ishmael, which means that once we get coming up with Adam, Asahel can just pick off King Balak. And in the meantime, these two can just draw. So, yeah, it doesn't look like he has a negate, or it doesn't sound like it, because he said nice, so. Alright, this, oh man. Was looking good. I think he's got, oh, he's got Burial. No, didn't know that was in the deck. Well, it's alright. We got rid of 2 of his evil characters. And we got some nice heroes for next turn. Got 10 cards in hand, so let's go ahead and put down Asahel, and let's put the Helmet on him. That seems pretty good. And we'll pass the turn. I guess I could have just put down Guardian and then waited on Helmet, but yeah. Oh well. I mean, he's got that Moabite Messenger, and like a lot of the Moabite stuff is kind of either like soul control or like taking out your heroes, and then there's an instead that either targets like your hand or your territory and stuff. I guess that's not really just a Moabite thing, that's kind of a gray thing, because like Emperor Domitian, Terrifying Beast, and Trapping Pharisee is also going to do that, but it's kind of one of those cool things that's like, it just happens to be in the gray themes mostly. I mean, I there are some others in other themes, but lots of gray. But anyways, that's why I think it's probably best to keep Guardian in my hand for now, because if I need to, I can use it to instead an ability. Alright, so put out a Kinsman Redeemer so that he can play Harvest Season. Maybe he'll use it on his own deck. Get out some Lost Souls for me. Kinsman Redeemer is a pretty solid card. Like, I mean, the ability doesn't really help you win the battle, but if you have like Angel of the Lord or something like that, it can really help you out. Like, or it can help set up your next turn or your next rescue or something to, you know, stop the Christian Martyr from happening or something. Wow, Ruth is back already. Let's see. I think, well, I mean, so I've got Fight Call with the Chariots, and I could just negate Ruth, I guess, and then I'll have Christian Martyr as an option. I kind of just want to wait until Your God Will Be My God is not a threat to put King of Tyrus out there, but let's see. Alright, so I can negate a good card. So I'm just going to negate Ruth so that her Protect is negated. So yeah, the Protect ability on Ruth cannot be negated, but because she only makes good Ruth enhancements, cannot be negated, not good Ruth cards. So let's see. I could use Plot to Kill to just discard Ruth. But now that I drew Carcasses, it's kind of tempting to wait until that's CBN, but yeah, we'll just try it. We'll give it a shot. We got other stuff for Carcasses, like Land My Spear in reserve. We're ready. Of course, the problem is that with Ruth, Fight Call wouldn't be able to negate her and equip Land My Spear. So yeah, this game is starting off pretty well, especially compared to the first game. So yeah, we've got angels, so I'm not too worried about like getting scattered or something. So I think I'm okay with just doing captured kinsman. We'll get an Abishai, we'll get an Azahel and Ishmaiah, get a nice draw 3. And then he'll probably just block with Balaam, which we can't really do anything about. But at least we get him out of the way. And I will... There's no other captured hero to release. So yeah, let's just add your red warrior to battle. So I'll add Abishai. I'll add Azahel. And then Ishmaiah. Helmet is negated by captured kinsman, so I can't use that. But then I will draw 3. And ooh, Peter, that's nice. Means we'll get to use Vorjak McCoy next turn. But Ishmaiah only bans to an OT red hero, so... Oh, actually, you know what? Ishmaiah negates evil characters with toughness X or less, so Balak is being negated. So can't do the Balaam block, which is nice. Means Angel of the Lord will probably get us through. We also drew Overrun by Philistines, which is nice with carcasses and the equipped dude there. Alright, so Orpa. You may discard an evil OT card from hand to withdraw all human heroes. It cannot be prevented by an OT hero. So, do I just want to use Bravery to negate it? I guess. Or I could just be withdrawn. Let's see, he discarded Moabite Messenger, which puts him at 3 cards in hand. And one of them is Balaam. I don't think he has a way, I don't think he has something to... I don't think he has any enhancements that can stop me if I just negate her, so I don't have to burn Angel of the Lord. Not that it'd really be burning, but you know, I don't have to use it. So yeah, nice part about Bravery is that the negate still works even if you have multiple heroes in battle, but since it says the only hero in battle is warrior class, then there can only be one hero in battle for the discard portion of the ability. So, oh, alright, so it looks like we got the soul. So, probably what he should have done there is like asked for initiative still, because that would have like tempted me to play Angel of the Lord more. Basically, you just kind of got to bluff and you know, hope that it works out. I think I've got plenty of cards here, so we'll go ahead and put down Guardian. Well, yeah, I might as well put down Peter. And now here's the problem with drawing too many cards, is that you have to put some of them down, and you know, don't always want to do that. I think we want to save Prisoner at Gaza to be a hero, in case he doesn't attack on his turn. I mean, I assume he will, but if I put down Prisoner at Gaza as an evil character, then he might not. I think I'm just going to put down Outsiders, because against his deck, or any Ruth deck really in general, it's pretty much just going to be like mono white, and then I guess with some red for the meek heroes. So Outsiders isn't going to be the most effective against like other Brigade decks like this one, or you know, themed decks that kind of have the same thing. But oh boy, he played his Guardian as well. In 2 decks that do not have Falling Away. Um, but unfortunately, he did not draw a Lost Soul, so we were good. There is a good move to hold on to Prisoner. So basically what I can do for my rescue, since I have to add a gold card, is I can take Eliezer the Potentate from my reserve, and then if I draw Mary, then I might do him or Matan as Meek. Actually, I could just... Might be better just to grab Matan and play a Lost Soul from his deck. Matan negates gray humans. Alright, well, that makes things easier. Once in a while you'll get a matchup like this where you have, a hero that's really good for the defense that you're up against. That's actually one of the cool things I think about just kind of the post-exilic offense in general, is that the heroes, like, none of them are, or none of the ones that like negate humans of a certain brigade are, super powerful. So they kind of just, like, if you use them right, then you can, what am I trying to say here? Sorry, I got distracted because he's going to use Harvest Season. Not sure if he's going to do my deck or his. He is going to do his own. I guess he's doing his own deck, which is interesting. But I guess at this point, I mean, he kind of needs the cards. At this point, like, I mean, he has some defense in his hand for sure. Like, he's got Balaam, which is a potential block, as long as Balak is working, which probably won't be for the majority of my attacks. But since I'm already at, like, I'm in a full hand with now a pretty full battlefield already, he's got to do some catching up. So getting out the female only is not a bad one to get either, because Mary is the only female hero in this deck, so did he draw another Lost Soul? He said yuck. Okay, anyways, what was I saying before I got sidetracked? Oh yeah, so the post-exilic heroes, like the new ones from Lineage of Christ, a lot of them have that little, like, negate humans of a certain brigade portion, which is kind of cool, because if you build, your deck with all of the post-exilic heroes, then odds are at least one of them is, or, odds are the defense you're playing against is, or one of them is going to work pretty well against him. Okay. Underdeck an artifact or activate an artifact. So I'm guessing he's going to underdeck my carcasses. But yeah, I don't believe... so yeah, he can underdeck carcasses, but since it's already the battle phase, the ability is active, and it's not like a triggered or an optional triggered ability, so it doesn't stop the ability from being active during the rest of the battle phase. And since it's a modifier, it grants a modifier. It cannot be negated by a game rule. So underdecking it would just, it basically delay I wouldn't have it for next turn, but it also would mean that I would be able to draw it again and use it for 2 more turns. So but yeah, since I just activated it last turn, it can only be used for 2 rounds. Then I'll still have 1 more round with it. Alright, so yeah, he is going to underdeck it, which I think that's the right play. But that means that I should use my discard stuff now. I don't want to equip Lamite Spear at this point, I think, since I have Overrun by Philistines, and I kind of want to keep Philistine Chariot and Horses on here. So, I guess I'll just discard Harvest Season. Can't type. So, I'm blocked with Commander Fire Call 3 times now, and he used a different part of his ability each time. Which, he's super versatile, and I love it. Alright, so Harvest Season is gone, and the weapon goes before I block, so, or before I band. So I draw 2, and we'll play Overrun. Would have been nice if I had some more essential heroes and or more heroes in battle, but you know, we take what we can get. We get a nice draw here, and we're taking out 2 heroes, so that's kind of the, you know, the bare minimum, I think, for Overrun by Philistines if you're not hitting kind of like the key heroes like Boaz or, you know, Boaz's Reapers, that or not the Reapers, the Foremen. Those are the ones that protect, I think. Whichever one protects is a good one to hit in territory with Overrun. Alright, and then I get to draw 1 from Overwhelmed. In this case it wouldn't have mattered because Philistine Chariot and Horses would be the first one. I guess it was Ram, or not Nishan, not Ram. Ram is the one who mills the top card. Alright, so wow. This is a brutal draw for this deck. Like, I mean, the first game I think he got this draw. Yeah, this time it was my turn, I guess. He said he misses the last game. Alright, so let's put down that one. And we're going to activate that. Yeah, might as well use it before the block. Or before the battle. I guess I'm not too worried about him having a Foreign Wives. Maybe. Is Foreign Wives Moabite? I don't remember. Well, that was a solid draw for 2 Lost Souls, but also Son of God New Jerusalem, so... unfortunately that means that we've got 2 cards in my hand, though, that I'm not going to be able to play this turn. Most likely. So, yeah, we got Prisoner at Gaza. Oh, actually, I will be able to play them this turn, because I forgot that I... Alright, so I get to play a Lost Soul from his deck, which is not protected by anything. And... we have to make sure that we can pull out a Lost Soul that we can rescue here. OT only, that one's fine. Anti-ignore, that one's fine. The Fool, probably be good. Because if he does block, we can just play Angel. And getting that one out now is probably better. Alright. Yeah, this is just crazy. I mean, especially that I just drew Son of God, New Jerusalem, which I guess, yeah, I only have 13 cards left in my deck. So when you have more cards in your hand than you have left in your deck, you'll probably have the dominance you need. If X, do Y, otherwise Z. Does Z happen if condition isn't met? I'm assuming he's asking about the guy who's like, if there are at least two heroes in battle, do something. Otherwise, do something else. So it's basically an if-else statement, if you're familiar with programming. It's, yeah, so like, if this, else, do that. So the otherwise is a little confusing because it kind of seems like if what happens after the if doesn't resolve or something, then you do the next part, but it's, yeah, if yeah, so this guy bounce up 2 heroes, opponent may top deck. Okay, oh, never mind, not this guy. It's the I don't even remember. That's alright. Okay, so he's bouncing up to 2 OT heroes. We can top deck an equal number of cards. I have used a search ability this turn, so it cannot be negated. So, bouncing Matan and Ishmaya, so I will have to top deck equal number of cards from hand instead. Should I just put Son of God, New Jerusalem back on top? No, probably not. Let's just put well, let's see. I'm not going to need this turn, I don't think. Yeah, because he's a 6. Well, I guess I actually do have initiative. I'm definitely not going to need a Soldier's Prayer right now, and I'm not going to need if I do need Strife, I can just draw it with Philistine Chariot and Horses, I think. So we'll do it that way. Yeah, it's actually kind of helps me out there. Because he's kind of taken my hand down a little bit. So, yeah, he's a 6-3 and I'm a 6-6, so his 6 is beating my toughness. So it is mutual. So it would actually be my initiative first since he played the last card in battle. So I think we'll just try to do Faith of Barak first. Although, it might be better to save that for Uriah. Because if he does have a negate, then I also have to use Angel. Okay, he was, yeah, blocking with the idea of having initiative in his mind, so, alright. So it is mutual. He is not choosing to block a different way, so I will just go ahead and play that to Discard all evil characters in battle. So, it can be negated since more than one evil character, or only one evil character had blocked this turn, but he did not have a negate. So we already, I mean, like, we know he's only got 5 cards, and we know at least one of them is Balaam and some other stuff, so yeah. Okay. Let's put down some more heroes. Let's put down Philistine Invaders. Well, actually, I'm at 10 right now, so I could just play Son of God, New Jerusalem. Yeah, might as well. So we'll gotta negate and rescue the female only, and then rescue the fool as well. Oops. Okay. And then we'll pass. So you drew 3 and just passed the turn. Yeah, that's understandable. Don't think we really need to think too hard here. I guess might as well grab something from discard. I don't think we're gonna need it, but we'll do that. Well, I guess I should have activated Covenant with Adam. Well, no, he's probably not gonna block with Balak anyway, so we'll take that with Helmet. And then ban 2 Ishmaya. Ishmaya can ban 2 David. Does he want to ban 2? Yeah, he can ban 2 Eliezer for my reserve, and then Matan. And I can play a Lost Soul from his deck again. And sure, we'll just grab this one. If you do get the Ruth deck, probably replace this Lost Soul first, because I think this deck was made before the changes to Ignore, where it's really not that great, so that Lost Soul probably isn't going to do much for you, so just gonna pick your favorite other Old Testament Lost Soul and try that one out instead. Yeah, so with Angel, I don't think there's really anything you can do here. Like, even Moab wouldn't work to like grab Scattered from his reserve. And yeah, we'll see what he was working with in his hand here. Cool. Ruth's Vow, Stricken, Unsuccessful, Unrepentant Moabites, Devotion of Ruth, Balaam, Son of God. I could have played Son of God to get 1. But Yeah, wasn't much he could really do here, since I was negating King Balak. And, I mean, since I had Angel, he wouldn't have had initiative to play unsuccessful. Yeah, obviously, loss soul differential doesn't matter. We're not playing this in a tournament game, so no real point in playing Son of God. It's just kind of a, if you want to thing, kind of like the last game where I just played Son of God New Jerusalem because I had them and because I didn't want to be at 0. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next one. As I said, this deck is available on Your Turn Games for purchase, so it's about $70, and you can check that out in the description below. Thanks, bye.